Today I will be discussing veterinarians and euthanasia. What is euthanasia? Euthanasia is defined as the painless killing of a patient suffering from an incurable and painful disease or an irreversible coma. During the process of euthanasia, the veterinarian is likely to give the animal a shot of sedative before the actual euthanasia drug is administered to calm the animal. Pentobarbital is a seizure medication that is then injected into the animal to put them into a permanent sleep. Now, while the animal itself will not feel any physical pain, the veterinarian, as well as the pet owner, will likely feel emotional pain. Euthanasia causes detrimental effects for veterinarians. Administering euthanasia can become very draining and depressing, and will likely cause detrimental effects to the emotional well-being of veterinarians. I interviewed vet tech Nicole Park, and she said that euthanizing animals was the most difficult part of her job that she has to deal with. Handling continual end-of-life circumstances as a veterinarian is not easy and will impact a person's mental stability and overall well-being negatively. Veterinarians experience a lot of pressure when euthanizing animals, not only from the pet owner, but also from internal perspective. So what is the problem? There is no denying that euthanasia is simply a part of the job as a veterinarian, and it must be dealt with. Euthanasia is often the most compassionate answer for a suffering animal struggling with the inevitable pain that goes in hand with terminal situations. However, that doesn't make the effects of euthanasia much better for the pet owners and veterinarians who will soon enter the grieving process. Maintaining a healthy mental state is extremely important for a veterinarian to do their job most effectively. So what solutions have been tried? Not many solutions have been tried, because a lot of people still don't know the importance of mental health awareness. Many people will simply do nothing or just ignore the problem. I liked this quote that said, "Peace of mind is attained not by ignoring the problems, but by solving them." So to achieve that said peace of mind, we must solve the problem. As a future veterinarian, I would like to propose that course curriculum on the college level be required to include coursework that includes coping mechanisms and resources available, as well as more mental health awareness classes that aid the veterinarian's emotional well-being when being faced with continual end-of-life circumstances, specifically euthanasia. There are a few components to this proposal that I would like to discuss. The first component to my proposition is to first include coping mechanism courses for vets and making it a mandatory requirement to complete these courses for future veterinarians dealing with end-of-life circumstances, specifically when administering euthanasia. Though the process is painless for the animal, it is a very difficult situation to deal with as a vet and the pet owner. Knowing how to cope with the situation will be extremely beneficial for maintaining a healthy mental state and having an overall greater job satisfaction and performance. The next component mentioned in my proposition is to recognize resources available for veterinarians and veterinary medicine students. There are support groups and grief counseling available for all people involved in veterinary practices. Some options include the Chicago CMA Grief Counseling, Virginia Maryland Regional College of Veterinary Medicine Pet Loss Support Group, and the P&G Pet Care Pet Loss Support Helpline. These are only a few examples. There are so many more groups and other resources available for use. The last component mentioned in my proposition is to have a greater understanding of the importance of mental health. Mental health awareness is something that is gaining attention from people. Understanding just how important it is to have a healthy mental state is extremely necessary to achieve not only better quality job performance, but also an overall healthier and happier life in general. So why is this a good solution? This is a good solution for the problem because many people don't realize how important it is to have a good understanding of ways to cope with terminally ill and dying patients, and making sure a heavy toll isn't taken on their mental health because of it. It is also very beneficial for people involved in veterinary medicine to be made aware of resources available for them to use to achieve a stable mental health and better emotional well-being. So how easy is this going to be? The feasibility of this proposition is relatively simple. We must find mental health professionals to help inform veterinary students how to take care of their mental state while dealing with difficult situations one may face, including euthanizing animals. Professors need to be hired to teach students about coping mechanisms, resources available to veterinary medical staff and students, and mental health awareness. This proposal requires money to fund the classes and the staff. People need to be hired, and there needs to be knowledge to be shared. So let's do it. Promoting the importance of mental health and providing coping mechanism courses that also inform students of resources available to them will be beneficial not only to the students, but to their future clients as well. Veterinarians are not the only people affected by euthanasia. The client bringing their pet to be euthanized will be extremely affected as well. If the vet has already learned the necessary knowledge and coping mechanisms to dealing with euthanasia, they will be less tense when it's time to go through with the process, which will help the client calm down as we know it's time. So it is time we make a difference to positively impact veterinary medicine workers and the clients. Thank you.